So I just heard about the recent passing of David Lynch, and David Lynch was, I'd have to say, a great influence on me. I was first introduced to his art form through Twin Peaks, like probably so many other people. And I was just the right age when the show came out. I think it was like something around 18, 19 years old when it aired. But for me, I didn't just watch Twin Peaks, I kind of lived it in a sort of way. I had a leather jacket like Bobby Briggs. I was already an avid coffee drinker. I even bought Laura Palmer's diary and the Twin Peaks tapes of Agent Cooper. So you could say I was really into it. So much so that after getting submerged in this Lynchian dreamscape, I obviously blitzed through his other material. I felt like a connection with Lynch's odd way of doing things differently. I had always felt that my way of writing or putting together music or even my music interests didn't fit the groove. And Lynch gave me this sense that it was okay to stand out and deliver something the way that was true to me. In fact, this channel alone, I would have to give some credit to David Lynch for giving me the courage to do this YouTube channel. I mean, he's an influence on what this channel's all about and is dedicated to. It seriously made me look at things and say, who's to say what's weird? I mean, seriously, I had to think about what kind of world would it be if there was no weird to it? And David Lynch definitely provided that sense of difference that made things interesting, for me at least. I wanted to share a strange thing that happened to me in this past year, 2024, which I'm convinced is significant to this recent news. And this comes from my daily journal. So on August 12th, I did an entry titled 7. I had a dream last night that mentioned, remember the story of marching on Jericho 7 times. I woke up, checked my Instagram page, and an artist I follow had a post concerning his book and book society he is a creator of. He mentions David Lynch's book, Catching the Big Fish. He mentions Twin Peaks. I recall loving the show and that I've never watched it from start to finish all at once, so I picked up the Blu-ray box set. I watched Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, and I'm immediately drawn to the fact that when David Bowie gets off the elevator, the number beside the door is the number 7. Sunday, I'm compelled to go out for breakfast with my spouse. We go to a spot we really enjoy. We go at a weird time and wouldn't normally go, but we do anyway. We ended up at a table we have never sat at before, not our regular spot. I look to the left, and the same style number 7 as the elevator in Fire Walk with Me is there. And that was the end of the entry. But after that, I couldn't shake that this was all for a reason. So I went to YouTube, for some reason, and just typed in David Lynch. And the first thing that came up was a session at the University of Oregon, I believe. And Lynch talked about his experience with Transcendental Meditation. I then picked up his book, Catching the Big Fish, and he continued in the book to describe how TM benefited his creativity and many other aspects of his life. Now, backstory. I was already at a point where I was meditating. It was guided meditation, which nothing wrong with that, but that's the form I was doing at the time. I was reading the Bhagavad Gita each day and the Upanishads and listening to Ram Dass, and these elements were very effective in a transformative journey for me, but I had got feeling that that path had reached this point where I needed some new gear, so to speak, for the journey ahead. So back to YouTube. Lynch talked about some of the benefits of TM, and as he did, it really resonated with me. And this is where I felt my transformative path was leading to. It was as if he was saying, this is what your dream is all about. So fast forward, this led me to getting trained in TM in November, and I'm still practicing twice a day, 20 minutes apiece. I immediately started feeling the benefits of TM, and I've gone on to tell many people who ask me about it that it is the best gift I have ever given myself. I honestly love my day-to-day experience now. I love how I feel inside. I have a new perspective on my existence, and I can't help but find it extremely interesting. I have Lynch to thank for that, or at least a part of it. I mean, what a gift to pass on to somebody. I mean, it's pretty incredible. So I obviously never met David Lynch, but I can't help feeling connected to him in like a spiritual way. I mean, just thinking that what a Lynchian way for a gift to be passed from him to me. From a dream to the path. It feels like something he'd like write for Twin Peaks, although there wasn't a giant in my dream. I'm very grateful that I was introduced to David Lynch in the 90s. As I continue along with TM, I'm finding that many of the links in the chain of my life are all making sense. And like many things happened for a reason. I'm certain of it. And I know that David Lynch was one of those parts. It seemed insignificant at the start, but it all started to take shape in 2024. I truly feel very heavy for those who are family, friends, loved ones, those who had the opportunity to be in his productions. The loss must be deep. He must have made an impact on them. I think it's wonderful that they all got to contribute to his visions becoming reality. He encouraged many people, like myself, to begin on transcendental meditation as part of their journey. And, well, now he's just transcended again, in a different way. I am very grateful for his contributions to this plane, a plane that I think is going to miss his contributions a lot. And as I reflect on the strange and beautiful way David Lynch's work wove itself into my life, I can't help but feel a profound gratitude. Not just in his art, which will live on in the red curtains, the haunting whispers, and the strange synchronicities that echo in my own story, but for deeper truths he encouraged me to explore. David Lynch gave us permission to embrace the weird, to cherish mysterious things, and to find meaning in things that don't always make sense. He reminded us that the strange and the sacred are often one and the same. And though he's no longer here, I feel his creative spirit is going to continue to ripple throughout the world, reminding us to dream, to meditate, to dive into the vastness of our own inner worlds. So thank you, David Lynch, for the light that you brought to the shadows, and for reminding us that every piece of the puzzle, even the strangest one, has a purpose. You've transcended once again, David. And in the words of the log lady, one day my log will have something to say about this. Until then, I'll keep listening.